She was born into nobility, married into royalty, and died as a legend. But her legacy was never just about the titles she wore. It was about what she dared to take off. She used tiaras not as crowns, but as shields, pearls as punctuation in a silent rebellion. Every jewel she wore told a story, sometimes of love, often of duty, and always of freedom. This is not just the story of a woman and her jewels. It's the story of a woman who sparkled brightest when she was finally free. Before she wore diamonds, she wore dreams. Diana Spencer was not born for the crown, but somehow it found her. A kindergarten teacher with soft eyes and a heart full of hope, she wandered the English countryside with ponies, unaware that fate was sketching her silhouette into history. Today, we tell her life as she lived it, through the jewels she loved, carried, transformed, not as ornament, but as voice. It begins simply, a ring. 12 carats of Ceylon sapphire, carved in an oval of midnight blue and surrounded by 14 solitaire diamonds, set in 18-carat white gold. The world knows it now as Kate's ring. The world once knew it as Diana's first promise.
I chose it because I liked it. It felt like me.
That choice was small and radical. While the palace expected lineage and legacy, she picked feeling. The 12-carat Ceylon sapphire was a quiet act of authorship, the first jewel she made hers. The world watched as she stepped into St. Paul's Cathedral, 20 years old, wrapped in ivory silk, her train stretching the length of dreams. It was a coronation of innocence. But fairy tales, as Diana would learn, are fragile things. The Spencer tiara was not a royal loan. It was home. Crafted over generations, set with old-cut diamonds, in a garland of tulips and scrolls, it carried a family's history into a new public story.
It weighed on my head and in my chest. I felt the past settle. I felt the future press in.
The Spencer tiara's diamonds catch the light, but its true sparkle was its loyalty, an heirloom that reminded her that before public life there was a girl named Diana with roots and a lineage that could never be fully overwritten. As her life widened, so did the world's gifts. Jewels arrived as tokens of friendship between states, and as unspoken instructions on how a princess should behave. Queen Mary's Delhi Durbar piece entered modern life as a gleaming choker. The royal collection describes the necklace as incorporating 9 incredible emeralds and a baptism of diamonds. On Diana, the choker became theatrical, even playful. She infamously looped it on her head during a visit to Australia, turning royal decorum on its head with a laugh. She was saying, without words, "I will not be boxed into the pageantry others script for me." For her wedding, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia gifted a suite made by Asprey, a Burmese sapphire pendant suspended on a diamond fringe, matching earrings, a bracelet, and even a watch with sapphire set straps. The suite's central sapphire became a focal point, a piece of global stagecraft. Diana later repurposed parts of the set to create new pieces, proving she could remold gift into garment, duty into personal style. On a 1986 Gulf tour, the Sultan of Oman presented a crescent motif sapphire and diamond suite, necklace, earrings, bracelet. Diana wore it boldly, pairing it even with the Spencer tiara during a state visit to Germany. Here was diplomacy made wearable, a necklace that bridged cultures and crowned moments of public responsibility. The fairy tale was unravelling, thread by golden thread. The press grew cruel, her marriage colder. And so Diana began to speak without words. She spoke with her clothes, with her gaze, with her jewels. She reimagined pieces. The Queen Mother's sapphire brooch, once pinned to the shoulder of royalty, she transformed into a 7-strand pearl choker. Elegant, unexpected, personal.
You're turning a brooch into a choker?
I'm not here to follow rules anymore.
That night in 1994, when Charles admitted his affair, Diana didn't give an interview. She gave an image, a little black dress, shoulders bare, eyes shimmering, and that choker resting like armour at her throat. The world called it the revenge dress. But it wasn't about revenge. It was reclamation. Diana had learned the language of jewellery better than any courtier. Pearls, chokers, and repurposed brooches became a grammar of resilience. She owned an 11-strand choker composed of approximately 900 pearls threaded into a dense, luminous collar. Columns of diamonds and rubies punctuating the structure. It read like armour. Near the throat, a band of quiet strength. She wore it to premieres, and on nights she wanted to step into her power. Not all jewels stayed inside palace walls. The Atala cross, a 1920s Garrod pendant set with square-cut amethysts and circular-cut diamonds totalling about 5.25 carats, was loaned to Diana and became synonymous with one glamorous photographed night. The cross later went to auction and was bought by Kim Kardashian in 2023 for roughly $197,000, a strange coda to a piece that once hung at Diana's throat, alive with charity and pageant. Her final years brought jewels that felt less like props and more like companions. 2 pieces stand out, the Swan Lake Suite and the Asprey Aquamarine. Designed with Garrard in close collaboration with Diana, the Swan Lake Suite included between 178 brilliant and marquise-cut diamonds and 712mm South Sea pearls mounted in platinum. The diamond weight was reported at roughly 51 carats. She wore it to the Royal Albert Hall in 1997, a ballet, and moved through that evening like a woman at peace. No crown, no prince, just presence. It would be the last set of jewels she ever wore in public. Those pearls and diamonds have shimmered in auction catalogues and was recently sold in 2023 to a private buyer, a final luminous chapter. And then the ring that signalled her independence, a 13-carat emerald-cut aquamarine by Asprey, given to her in 1996. When the sapphire symbolised a promise, the aquamarine came to symbolise renewal, cool, clear and strong. Diana wore it in public and private. Later, it would pass on to Prince Harry, and Meghan would wear it to her wedding reception in 2018 as quiet continuations of that legacy.
They think jewels are about wealth, but sometimes they are about what happens after you stop being everything they asked you to be.
When Diana left the world, she left behind more than style. She left behind talismans, symbols, stories. Her engagement ring now graces Catherine's hand. The Spencer tiara dances again at wedding receptions, and the earrings, the chokers, the velvet-ribboned sapphires, each appears like a whisper of the woman who wore them first. She never sat on a throne, but she didn't need one. Her crown was not made of gold. It was made of grace, of rebellion, of love. And now, decades on, she lives on, in every sapphire, every pearl, every woman who ever dared to be both gentle and unbreakable.